Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Steph, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I'm so glad I did that intro because when I did the last intro where I was like, I'm Steph and I clean my house for free, I felt a little bit like how Sheldon feels when he doesn't knock 3 times on the door in The Big Bang Theory. It just felt very unnatural to me to not do the normal intro. Even though I did ask for ideas on a new intro, it didn't feel right to me. So we're back to the original intro that I came up with. Anyway, first of all, apologies if there's any background noise in today's voiceover. I am currently sitting in my living room and my house is a little bit busy, but if I tried to go upstairs to my bedroom, I would just go to sleep. Like, it's one of those days. I don't know, I'm associating my bed with sleeping and it just makes me yawn. So on this day, this is Saturday, and I had to write it in the video so that I would remember which day it is. This is Saturday afternoon, and I think I was going to be going on a play date with Kai. That's why I'm wearing my skirt and things while tidying. And as you can see, we're tackling the kids' bedroom. This has been on my to-do list for quite a while. The last time I did their room, I very half-assed it because we were just doing what we can. So I do a little bit better in this one. I worked all week that week apart from the Wednesday, and so it was a little bit of a struggle, but it needed to be done. I think Arthur's upstairs. I'm doing a voiceover just now. Okay? Don't bang, please. So that was just some Lily interrupting, and as you know, I will not go back and edit it. So I've had questions about this room, so I'm just going to address a couple of them. Not necessarily from viewers, but just people that know me in general and some viewers. So the way that this room works is Kai and Lily have this blue basket, which is the dressing up basket. I used to have one of those standing rails where I would hang everything, but it just looked big and messy and took up too much space, and all the stuff ended up on the floor anyway, so I just got a basket to try and keep it all separate. So all the dressing up stuff goes into this basket. Then they each have a toy box and a box that just has teddies. Now I'm saying box quite liberally, as you can see these are baskets. Kai has 2 toy boxes. He has that yellow one, which is for his big bulky items, and then he has the red one with the lid, which has all his little figures and other bits and pieces that it's in a box with the lid from when Lily was younger. I didn't want her getting into all the little pieces. Obviously, she's at an age now where that doesn't really matter because she's not going to put things in her mouth. So I might change his toy situation because I feel like because it's in a box with a lid, he doesn't ever play with them. So what's the point? But I don't want to get rid of them because, when he has friends around, he does end up bringing the box out. But I just want to make it a bit more accessible. So we might change that situation. However, the plan for this room is, obviously Kai has this cabin bed and Lily's still in her toddler bed, but she's getting to an age now where I want to put them in a bunk bed to make more space, because Kai keeps asking me to bring the drum kit back out of the shed, which is where I put it at Christmas time, because the tree went up in the living room, so the drum kit had to go to the shed. And then after the Christmas time, when the tree went away, Lily got a desk for Christmas, and the desk is in the living room. And now that space in the living room is where the drum kit normally lives. So if I can get the kids a bunk bed and rearrange their bedroom, then that's going to open up the floor space. Lily's desk can either move into her den, and then some of the toys from the den can come upstairs, or the desk itself can come upstairs. I haven't figured out which one yet. And then it means I can get the drum kit back out and he can use that. However, I'm not planning on doing that for this month. And by the time I actually get around to doing it, I'm like, then I'm going to have to get the Christmas tree back out. So it might be a job for after Christmas. And then straight after Christmas, once the tree goes down, then the drum kit can come back out. So that's kind of the plan for this room. And also I'm thinking, because Madison has this set of drawers that's in here, Madison has another set herself in her room, but she's wanting rid of them. She's wanting to have... There's the phone notification. I will mute that now. My phone's been quite quiet all day, and the second I do a voiceover I get a message. Anyway, Madison has one of these mom sets of drawers from IKEA in her bedroom, but she's wanting to get rid of it and get cubes like what the boys have instead. So I might give her Kai's cubes, and then bringing the mom drawers into this room for Kai to have instead. Because originally in this room, I think it was Arthur and Kai, and they had a bunk bed and they had 2 sets of mom drawers, and it worked quite well. So I might try that again. We'll figure it out as we go. As you can see, this is taking me a while. It was so messy. The floor is really dirty. And when I'm putting things away, I am putting them back into the right boxes, the right categories. You know, the Lego to the Lego table, dressing up stuff, Lily's teddies, Kai's teddies, Lily's toys, Kai's toys, all of that kind of thing. This little workbench that's in front of the radiator, that's getting donated. I might actually donate it to the house that we've been cleaning because she has a little boy who would probably use it, so might go there. At the moment it's just sitting on my upstairs landing after this video. So I clean all the floor, I get under Lily's bed, and then I strip the beds and things. I clean the windowsill and the top of the drawers. I'm saying clean. I don't actually clean, I just clear. Like, the cleaning can come another day. This room took me about 1.5 hours. Like, it took a long time, but I think it's because my back was killing me, so it was a struggle. It was slow going, but we got there. It was so funny because when I then went out on the play date afterwards with Kai and Lily, my friend said, she was like, "Oh, you okay? You're looking a bit tired." I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then later on I told her that I cleaned Kai's room, and she was like, "Oh, that'll be why you're tired." I was like, "Oh yeah, that will be why I'm so tired." Because it just took so long. I have no idea what I'm going to do for Christmas for the kids. They literally have like every toy that they need and more. So I'm probably going to have to do another big clear out. I did notice when I was sorting out these toys, there was like quite a few that I thought, oh, they don't really play with that anymore. So we could potentially get rid of some of the toys that we have. Now, normally I get the kids involved. Oh, that was Xander giving a wee shake. Normally I get the kids involved when going through their toys, but sometimes you just have to do it without them. Oh, Xander, don't do that. He's leaning on me. He always seems to know when I'm like really sore, so he comes to try and comfort me, but it hurts. So you're trying to be helpful, but it's not very helpful. I did consider, because obviously this video is like a day late, and I did consider going live today instead of doing the video because I have actually been cleaning all day and I'm pretty tired, and I have just made dinner as well, which I don't normally do, but I really fancied this meal, which I'll tell you the meal in a minute. So I did think, oh, rather than doing the voiceover and then doing all the techie stuff and uploading, I'll just go live. And then I said that to my husband. He was like, oh, I forgot to tell you that such and such is coming round tonight to play Pokemon. I was like, oh, okay. So I'll just do a voiceover real quick, bash it out, and then can do a live another day. So I don't have any more footage after this one. This is the last of my footage. This has been from Saturday until today. And then my plan, because all my stuff from IKEA arrived, is to sort out the unit this weekend, and that'll be Sunday's video. But you might have to bear with me. It might end up being Monday release or Tuesday. Like, it might end up being next week's video and I'll just go live on Sunday. It depends how long it takes me. We'll see. I put up the white unit on like a free donation page thing on Facebook, and I don't know if it's been approved yet. So I've not had anybody say that they want it, because I'm giving it away for free, but whoever takes it has to come and dismantle it, and it might not, Xander, don't do that. It might not 100% build in the next place because it's moved house a couple of times, and I'm like, not sure on the structural integrity if it was to move again. So Lily never usually gets an iPad. So we obviously have all the TVs and computers in the house, and my household is very like technology orientated, especially the boys. And so we're trying to hold off for as long as possible before like giving Lily technology and letting her like use things, like iPads and phones and all of that kind of stuff and gaming consoles. So she just tends to watch TV if she is using technology. But I really needed to get this done on this day, and Madison had a sleepover, so her and her friends were watching like a horror movie in the living room, and then the boys were playing on the TV in the kitchen, And so the only other option really was for her to have a little shot of the iPad just to keep her out of the way. And I'm calling it an iPad. I'm pretty sure it's an Android, not an iPad, but that seems to be the universal term for it, doesn't it? So anyway, so she was having a shot of that. So you keep seeing her coming in and out of frame. But it makes her so grumpy. This is one of the reasons we're trying to hold off as long as possible. She just gets so grumpy when she uses it. But it was fine because I knew we were going to like a soft play place. What do you guys call that kind of thing? So it's an area, like it's a building that's filled with like climbing frames and slides and ball pits and like big soft squishy things that if you jump around and fall on them it's okay. We call it soft play, or sure there was another name for it. I can't remember, but what do you call it where you are? Let me know in the comments because it's always interesting to see the comparison. So at this point I'm just sweeping up the rubbish off the floor, and then I think I do like an overall sweep once I'm finished. I need to do a declutter of the teddies, and Lily's really good at letting go of things that she doesn't use anymore. Also, I strip the beds, but you don't see me remaking them because I think at this point my husband's not home. But once I've finished, he gets home soon after. And then I'm like, okay, you can make the beds. I'm going out now. Because we were using one car on this day. I don't know if I have mentioned recently, but my car's been in the garage. It's been an absolute nightmare. So it was due to get an MOT, but also there was like 7 different like warning lights came on, but they all kind of came on roughly at the same time. So I think it was like hill start indicator or something like that. And then like, oh, your right indicator, and then your tire deflation. And then it was like the ABS, like so many different warning lights came on. So I was like, well, this is obviously an electrical fault because there's no way my car just decided to give up the goose on all these different things at one time. And so I booked it in to Arnold Clark, which is where I bought the car, because when I bought it, like it's on finance. So in like 3 years, I have to give the car back and I can get another car. But I pay the extra each month to cover the service and the MOT for the next couple of years. And I also paid for the extended warranty. So I thought it's fine, I'll not have anything to pay. I booked it in, and then they said, okay, so this and this and this is wrong, and none of that is covered in the warranty. So they were going to try and charge me. First of all, they charged me like £150 just to diagnose the problem, which you would think that the MOT would do that. But anyway, so they charged me £150, and then they were saying that it was going to cost over £1,000 to fix the car. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take it to another garage. And then they fixed it for like £300 because I was right. So I thought it was going to be like an electrical fault and something to do with the sensors. And Arnold Clark, which couldn't figure out what was wrong. So they were wanting to replace like the whole headlight and the brake pads. And so I took it to the other garage and they were like, no, you don't need a new headlight, which would have been like over £700. So thankfully it was just the sensor, and they were able to replace that and fix that. And now that it's fine. But because of all the faffing around with moving garages and everything like that, I didn't have my car for like a week. And the thing is, I do not leave my house very often. Like I go to work, I occasionally go shopping, I'll take the kids on days out and play dates and things. But apart from that, I very much like to be in my house. And so, I mean, some days I've struggled to get out of the house. But the second that I do not have a car, all I want to do is go out and do stuff and leave my house. So on this day, because I was sharing a car with my husband, I had to wait for him to get in so that I could go out. And it was just a whole thing. But I have my car back now. I got it back yesterday, which was good because I've had these false nails on for weeks that I've been meaning to go and get them off. But because I was working all of last week, I wasn't able to. And so then I was like, okay, I'll get it done on Monday when I wasn't working. And then because I never had my car, I wasn't able to. So finally went and got them off. And it's really good because I'm not very good at looking after my nails. But while I had those false nails on, my nails were growing. And I said to Danielle, also this is day 2. I don't think I ever show you a finished result. So this is Monday evening, which I don't normally clean in the evenings, but didn't really have a choice on this day. Anyway, So I said to Danielle, I was like, oh, I wonder if when I take them off, they can just like paint my normal nails. And she says, well, your nails will be too damaged and soft from having the false nails on. So you won't have it. They'll just have to cut your nails off. But actually, they've left them quite long. I went to a different place and they were so gentle. I'm going to go back from there from now on, because the last place, they burned my thumb a little bit by like filing down too much. And they're really like quite like, what's the word? Abrupt when they move my hands around. Not abrupt. They're too hard on my wrists, basically. They hurt my hands when they move them because they move them too much. Whereas this place was like super gentle, so I'm definitely going to go back there. Anyway, as you can see, I have straight hair on this day. Now this is Monday, and I think I mentioned in the last video that on the Sunday I was going to have a pamper day. You know, I was going to get my nails off and my hair done and all of that stuff. Now what happened was I went down the town to get the nails off and all the nail places were closed. And then I was going to go and get my hair dyed, and it turns out that Stevie, who was going to be dyeing my hair, actually had the sickness bug that Danielle's kids originally had, because she was then looking after Danielle's kids a few days later, and they must have still been carrying it, so they passed it on to her. So I wasn't able to get my hair dyed or my nails done on the Sunday like I had originally planned. I did get some reading time in though, so that was good. So then on the Tuesday, I was planning on getting my hair dyed, so I washed and straightened it so that it would be easier to get done. And I was totally rocking the hair down look. I loved it. And I was like, oh, my hair's way longer than I thought it was going to be, because obviously my hair's always curly, so I never know how long it is. And I was thinking it was Piper Halliwell vibes. And so I was really liking it. But I just hate having my hair in my face when I'm cleaning. It was just getting in my way. I was like, oh, I don't want it touching these dirty dishes, and I was too hot, and so I just end up tying it up. But for that very short time, I felt like, oh, look at me, look at my hair. Anyway, at the last section of this video, so this is Monday, and then the next section you're going to see is the Wednesday afternoon, and you'll see my hair. It is very bright, just forewarning. Anyway, so clean the kitchen, just kind of do a general clean. I can't remember the reason, like I had to do this on this night. I think it was because I was going back to cleaning the next day and I wouldn't get a chance to do it. Sorry, I thought my husband was coming in the living room there, but he's not. So yeah, so I get this done and then I do bedtime on this night. It's been a busy few evenings because like my husband works a lot of evenings, but it's like a week on, a week off with evenings. And so he's evenings this week. And so I've been doing like the kids' bedtime and bath time. And I think that's what I was doing here. The kids had just gone in the bath. And then I was like, I'm going to quickly tidy the kitchen while they're in the bath and then get them to bed. And then I think I had an early night, which is just as well, because on Tuesday night, oh my God, let me tell you, that was the worst night's sleep I've ever had in my life. It was so bad. I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I couldn't get back to sleep for hours. And so I ended up, I've been watching these videos on YouTube. They're like short, and I don't know how they came into my algorithm, but I'm obsessed. And it's basically mystery charm scoops or scoop charms. Something like that. So basically people will order a scoop and then the owners of the shop will scoop a bunch of charms. Okay, this, first of all, before I get into that story. So this is the Wednesday afternoon. I was so sore on Wednesday because I never really slept on the Tuesday night. And so I did not want to do this. However, I had a handyman come in to look at this leaking pipe. Now, I never really show you guys this room. It's the worst room in my house. I hate it so much. And also it's tiny, so it's hard to actually show you. But as you can see, we've got mold and damp. Xander, can you just climb off me, please? You're hurting my leg. We have mold and damp growing here. And I'm using the HD mold remover, which, by the way, that is the best product I've ever found for mold. I used to swear by the Astonish mold remover. But the HD mold remover, I bought that after Colleen Cleans did a recommendation video for it. And it is the best mold cleaner I've ever come across. Anyway, so I have to clean this up because a handyman was coming to look at the pipes and the taps. And then he was coming to look at this, doing the silicone upstairs. And as you know, I've had a whole hassle with handymen. This is like the 5th handyman I've tried to get to come and do this. And so he was coming that day. And this was the only opportunity I had to clean. So I was like, okay. And so I did it, even though I really could not do it. And it took me 10 minutes to do this downstairs one. I'm literally doing the bare minimum to keep this clean. And then the upstairs bathroom, which normally takes me over an hour to clean properly, I don't even use product. I just damp dust the whole room and kind of clean it that way. So this is my hair. As you can see, it's bright orange. Anyway, so I don't normally show you guys this room. It's horrible orange colour. I need to decorate. There's a leaking pipe. It's a whole thing. I hate it so much. So back to the mystery scoop story. So basically the woman, it tends to be women, I've never come across a man yet, who scoop these charms, and then they will count out the different charms, and if you get like 4 love heart red charms, you get like 4 highlighters, and if you get 3 blue star charms, you get like 3 mini notebooks, and loads of different items. Sorry, this is a terrible view of my back here. Anyway, you get loads of different items, and it's a complete mystery, and you just pay for the scoop. Now, I am obsessed with watching these, and I thought, oh, I would love to do this. So when I woke up at like 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning, I'm just like Googling like how to start a mystery scoop business, because you know me, procrastination and starting new projects. My most recent project is the website for 5 Free Cleaning. So if you want to go and check that out and let me know your thoughts, it's www.fivefreecleaning.co.uk. And I completely made it by myself using WordPress. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. I was thinking once I finish uni to try and make a little bit of extra money while I'm working from home, I might just like design websites for people, but not just designing websites. I was thinking I would help them, like people, like it would have to be service people rather than like stores, because I don't really know how to do the Shopify stuff. But I could help people like set up their business, because I'm really good at research and making business plans. I can create basic websites. I can design flyers and advertising for social media, all of that kind of stuff. So I could do like a basic package to get people and their business like started, because I'm the one that set up my husband's dog walking business. I set up a cleaning company. Obviously I do 5 Free Cleaning. And I also helped a friend who was doing business studies at college, and he managed to pass because of my help. So yeah, I feel like it's not I'm not qualified, but I have a lot of experience in the area, and I've watched so many YouTube videos that's how I know how to build a website. It's just a special interest of mine, shall we say. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just tidying, and I'm flying through this as well because Kai had a hospital appointment not long after this that I was going to have to take him to. So I was just quickly trying to get this done as best as I could in the very short amount of time that I had. Also, don't worry that I'm using this bath sponge because it's going in the bin. It was on its way out anyway. I'm not cleaning with a sponge that people are then going to use to wash themselves with. So I'm just kind of damp dusting everything down, trying to get rid of toothpaste marks and any smudges. And I do need to go back in this bathroom and clean it properly. Oh, just real quick, back to the 5 handyman story. So the first handyman came out, and he was the one that found the problem with the bathroom. And then he quit. So when I was like, okay, I've had a plumber out, he says we can do this and this, so are you okay to do it? He was like, oh, I actually had to quit because of a problem with my hands. So he wasn't able to come out. And then the next handyman, I completely spaced that he was coming, and so I wasn't home. And so we rescheduled, and then he stood me up, which I think was karma because I had technically stood him up. So that was handyman number 2. Handyman number 3 just like said he was going to come out and then never came out. Handyman number 4 said he was really busy. Oh no, sorry. Handyman number 3 did not cover our area after all. And then handyman number 4 said he was going to come out, but that he was really busy, so he would just pop in one evening. And then again, he just never showed up. So this is handyman number 5, and hopefully it's 5 times the charm, because this is a joke at this point. It's so difficult finding like good handymen. This guy was like recommended on a Facebook group that I'm in. Anyway, just giving the toilet a quick wipe, and then that is as much as I'm going to do. I think I maybe wiped the floor. I didn't have any bleach with me, so I just used this bleach power spray. This is the end of the video. I did speed it up a little bit more because I didn't know what I was going to talk about in the video, and I thought most of it was tidying anyway, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!